Yes, ladies and gentlemen, special report time going on here to bring you the latest news, because there's some big news. That's right. The man right there in the corner here, Mitchell Robinson, who has missed 50 games, is going to return tonight. That's right. He's going to return tonight against the Toronto Raptors. This is big news. We're going to get into it. Let's get right up. My name is George. Again, if this is your first time here, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Really appreciate that. Drop your comments. Also, turn on the notification bell so you're alerted. Like when I drop a video like this, this is a very important, significant moment here. The New York Knicks are getting back their... Basically, this guy was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year when he went down. When he hurt his ankle and had to get surgery back in December 8th, he got injured, and he's missed 50 games since. The Knicks this is a different Knicks team than he left right now. 3 of his guys are gone. 4, actually, if you count Fournier. RJ was traded, IQ, and then Quentin Grimes are all gone. And now Mitch returns. He is the elder statesman, the longest tenured Knick currently, and perfect timing for this. We needed him to come back with enough runway left before the postseason began, and he will return with 11 games remaining for him to get into conditioning, to get his touch back, to get his feel for the game back, and to also understand his new teammates. Now, one of them won't be on the court yet for tonight. It's OG Anunoby. We're waiting for his return. There's also Julius Randle. Still a lot of uncertainty with that. Let's get into this. Here we go. Oh, just so you guys know, I'm having a watch party on April 7th. It's the Bucks game, which should be a very, very important game. It's going to be on Sunday, April 7th. The game begins at 4 p.m., but I'll be there earlier, around 3. If you guys want to come by, anyone who's in LA would love it. Would love to meet you guys. I've met some of you already at the Clippers game, the Knicks-Clippers game. Was it last season? I can't remember now. This is going to be at the Greyhound, which is an awesome place, a great pub, and the owner is Steven is a big Knicks fan himself. Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll be a nice win for us. But I didn't mean to show you that right now. I already showed you. This is what I meant to show you. No. This is what I meant to show you. Thanks to Knicks Feed for putting this out. Mitchell Robinson is expected back, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. He's expected to be active and available to play for the Knicks tonight. That's right. Now, it started off like this. He first tweeted out early this morning for me, Knicks center Mitchell Robinson has been upgraded to questionable versus Raptors tonight and now moves to the cusp of a return. Robinson, who's been recovering from ankle surgery, has been out since December 8th. Then he quote tweeted himself, Mr. Woj. Mitchell Robinson is expected to be active and available to play for the Knicks tonight. Now, don't expect many minutes. Obviously, he might only play like 6 minutes. Who knows? I would say 10 would be the max. And he'll be coming off the bench, which he should. He needs to come off the bench until he's finally back into his conditioning. He's regained his conditioning. And like I said, regained his touch and has been able to, and who knows, maybe he'll thrive off the bench with that second unit. He'll give that second unit that defensive punch. It'll help Bojan, who's out there with him, because, man, Bojan needs help. He needs help. But remember, we got to think about what Mitch was like before his return, before he got hurt. I actually got a few highlights for you guys, which we can get to right now while I talk about Mitch. This is Mitch. This is what he was doing before he went down. Mitch was owning the NBA in terms of rebounding. He was probably one of the top 5 fiercest rebounders in the NBA all around, but definitely was the number 1 offensive rebounder in the game at the time. He was averaging 10.3 rebounds per game when he went down, which is 10th best at that time. Now he also, he shares the court with Randle, who gets a lot of rebounds, with Hart, who gets a lot of rebounds. So this guy, 10.3 rebounds per game. That was his career high. He was average. It was a career high in rebounds for him. It was also a career high in steals for him. He was averaging 1.5 steals per game, and he was also averaging what was the other thing? 29.2 minutes per game, which was also a career high. So he was trending in the right direction. Interestingly, he was averaging a career low in blocks. In blocks, only 1.3. And a lot of that, I believe, is, for one, he was being a little more conservative in which shots he went after, because the rebounding is really the most important. I think he got better at judging when he was actually going to be able to get the block or not, and whether he was going to be in position to get the rebound. Sometimes when you go for the block, it takes you out of position to get the rebound. So in this particular case, and also that was one factor. The other factor, I believe, is people just stopped trying to challenge this man. People got smart. They wised up. They're like, wait a second, we're not going to go try and dunk on this guy. I'm not going to try and do a floater over this guy. No way. So less opportunities for him to even get blocks. But man, offensively, look at that. Beautiful. Now, one reason I mentioned RJ being gone, because RJ was one of the guys who was able to have that lob game with him, the pick and roll, and feed him on a roll with a nice lob for him. Sometimes RJ would just drive to the hoop, with that pistol action. And even if he didn't have a clean look, or it was going to be a forced shot, which I didn't agree with this philosophy, but you could see it was happening, he would sometimes just throw it up there. Not in that case. That was an actual real pass to Mitch. But sometimes he would just throw it up there to try and get it up on the rim, because he knew that Mitch Robinson would contest and get that offensive rebound and get that bucket. So he's gone. And I was hoping to be able to see OG doing some of that with him, because OG does show the ability to do that. I've seen him do it, and he was doing it with Hart. He was doing it with Precious a little bit on the team. So it's going to be exciting when OG's finally back from his elbow flare-up to be able to start utilizing Mitch more offensively, because he can be a dominant force around that rim. Now, another one of the negatives is it creates a lot more congestion in the paint. But look at that. Nice feed by Josh Hart there to Mitch. It creates some congestion there. So that's something they're going to have to find a balance for. However, it's a tremendous weapon to use. And this is something that the Knicks, I can't wait. That verticality. There aren't too many guys on the team who have that. I mean, Precious has shown some of it. Isaiah Hartenstein has at times as well. But nothing like the way Mitch does it. And that move, I want to see that. I want to see more of that. Now, it's going to be a while. He hasn't played competitive basketball in 50 games over 3 months. So it's going to take him some time, which is why I'm so happy he's returning tonight with 11 games left. I've been talking with some friends who were thinking, man, how many games? Because if he comes back with just like 4 or 5 games, that's not enough. So 10 is a beautiful number. Perfect timing for this. Let's see one more little highlight here. Here we go. Look at that. There it is. That's something I want to see Brunson do with him. He was doing it, but not at the level that some of the other guys were doing it. Look at those putbacks. Look at the little tip shot. Look at it. He destroys the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. Just wet themselves reading the Woj tweet. He is back, and he's coming for the Twin Towers of the Cavs. He's coming for everybody in the East. All the bigs, all the littles, all the middles. You guys, this guy, I wish he had not gotten hurt, honestly, because he was trending in such a great direction at the time. So is he going to reach that level quick enough for the playoffs? We will see. That is the hope. But either way, having him on this team is going to give Thibs 48 minutes of intense rim protection with Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson now as a tandem, as a 1-2 punch. This team is the second best defense in the NBA right now, second rated defense in the NBA. And adding a guy like this guy, who was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate at the time, is just going to plug in holes that were starting to develop, or the Knicks were they were doing it by just pure hustle and overplaying some guys. And they can't overplay Isaiah Hartenstein. He can't play more than about 25, 26 minutes per game. Sometimes they were stretching a little bit. So now, hopefully, Mitch, let's say after about 5-6 games of playing maybe 10 between, 8 to like 12 minutes, he'll start getting up to 16 minutes per game, 18 minutes per game. And then by the end of the regular season, he's up to averaging 20, 22 minutes per game. That's the goal I see for him. Boom. And the Knicks will benefit. The fans will benefit. But the East will suffer. All right, let's get back to this. All right, so here's some tweets that have been put out. StatMuse always comes through with some interesting stats. Mitchell Robinson has more offensive rebounds this season than Brook Lopez, Miles Turner, Evan Mobley, Karl Anthony Towns, Wendell Carter Jr., Kristaps Porzingis, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Collins, and he's only played 21 games. That's it. We're about to have game 72. Game 72 tonight. He's missed 51 of those games. Well, no, actually, he will have played tonight. He missed 50 games. So imagine where he would be right now. And then Tommy Beer, always fantastic. You guys got to subscribe to his newsletter. It's fantastic. A reminder of how well Robinson was playing and why he was generating Defensive Player of Year buzz. Before being injured, he led the Knicks, who ranked top 5 in defensive efficiency in rebounds, steals, and blocks through the end of November. In the process, Mitch Rob became just the second player in NBA history with more than 100 offensive rebounds, more than 30 steals, and more than 25 blocks through the first 20 games of the season. Then he follows this up with total offensive rebounds this season, which echoes the StatMuse tweet. Mitchell Robinson, 112 in 613 minutes. Then you look at Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, all these guys, 1,800 minutes for Miles Turner, over 2,100 minutes for Brook Lopez, 1,300 minutes for double the amount of minutes for Mobley, and nowhere even near where Mitch is at. Karl Anthony Towns, 91 for him in almost 2,000 minutes. Kristaps, in 1,500 minutes, 86 offensive rebounds. Actually, his percentage is pretty good, considering. Joel Embiid, 89 offensive rebounds for him in 1,156 minutes. The Knicks are getting a beast. A beast. The beast of the boards is returning tonight. Just to give you guys a little even more perspective, because it's not just, whatever rebounds just come his way, whatever. No, he's contested rebounds. This is one of the most important stats in terms of rebounding. The top 3 were Jokic, AD, and then Mitch Robinson right there in contested rebounds. Mitch was averaging 6.1 for third best in the NBA. Better than Embiid, Capella, Gobert, Mark Williams, and DeAndre Ayton, and Zubac. This is all back at the time, by the way. At the time when he went down, December 8th. This is all from, up until December 8th. And then contested rebound percentage, number 1. Number 1 right there, 59.7%, better than Gafford. Look at this guy. This is who's returning today. We've been waiting for him forever. Mitch Robinson, averaging 6.2 points per game, 10.3 rebounds, almost an assist per game, and really, most importantly, 1.5 steals per game. That was a career high for him. Fantastic. And perfect timing with the New York Knicks right now firmly in 4th place. Well, firmly, it's pretty congested there between Cleveland, New York, and Orlando. Only a game and a half separates those 3 teams. But the Knicks have 1 game in front of Orlando and only a half game behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are shitting themselves right now. I'm just teasing them. I like teasing the Cavs, because in some ways I'm really annoyed about that franchise. How they can get all those number 1 picks is really annoying over these years. But tonight they play. They're on the road. They play the Charlotte Hornets, who they did beat last time, but they played them at home. So it's a home and home back-to-back for them. Not back-to-back, but 2 games in a row. Maybe, it's hard to beat a team twice in a row. So maybe after tonight, when I'm doing the recap tonight, the New York Knicks will have defeated the Toronto Raptors, who unfortunately, I don't believe that. Let me just check to see here if IQ and RJ will be back in time to play against them. I'm going to get this info here for you guys in a second. But let's say we take care of business against Toronto, which we most certainly will. The Knicks will be 44-28. The Cleveland Cavaliers, let's say somehow Charlotte comes through and they defeat them. The Cavaliers will be 44-29. So we will switch positions and the New York Knicks will be in third. Excellent. That's what we want. That is what we want right now. The New York Knicks have been battling all year long to try and get as good a position as they can possibly can to ensure their deepest run into the playoffs, which the deepest run happens when they avoid the Boston Celtics. But at this point, if we get Mitch back and he's, gets into good conditioning by the playoffs and by the second round, and we get OG's, we just keep resting OG. Just keep resting him. There's no need to bring him back right away. He doesn't need runway. He doesn't need time to get back into game shape or anything. That guy, the second he hits the court, he's making an impact. We've seen it. It was his first game against the Knicks. He didn't even know when he plays. He was already doing backdoor cuts. It was amazing, the impact that he had. He comes back, and we had a horrific game against the 79ers, and then the follow-up game against them, we totally destroy them because OG was a key factor there. So we don't need him to come back so that he can get the feel of the game and all that stuff. No, he's not that kind of player. He's such a natural. He is. Well, he's already in a decent shape anyway. His conditioning. It was his elbow that was it had a flare up. So let the elbow completely subside because. If it's true that he is one of those guys that just doesn't like to play through discomfort or whatever, maybe gets in his head a little too much, and actually you can actually hurt you actually can exacerbate a situation by not trusting your body. So let's hope that maybe another 3 or 4 games. Who knows? Maybe he'll even be back for Sunday's game, maybe, or early next week. Whatever it is, we want him back with no flare up in his elbow at all. And he gets out there, then we get Mitch, OG, who, we're talking about all defensive level type players. And then we wait for Randall. We'll see what Julius Randle can do. Maybe he returns for those final 3 or 4 games of the season, ease him back in. He starts trusting his ability to take impact on that shoulder. And we'll see. Maybe we get an 85% version of Randall, but not like a hobbled one. So that's the difference between him and coming back last season when he came back on the bad ankle. A bad ankle is a bad ankle. It takes time to, it takes all the weight on it, so it really can impact your entire game. However, your shoulder, it's more about, obviously he won't necessarily be feeling pain. If he's feeling any pain or discomfort in just regular motion, he should definitely not come back. But let's say he feels fine. But the shoulder is not fully stabilized yet because you need that 12 to 16 weeks. But he comes back around week 10. He takes it easy. He gets a couple of hits on there. He starts trusting the elbow more. And then by the playoffs, he will have been rested. He's feeling good. Maybe we get an 85% version of what he was, but not we're not talking about a compromised one. We're talking about in terms of him being willing to put himself in situations that might hurt his shoulder again. So let's say he avoids those situations. This team is going to be scary. It's going to be scary. And then I don't even care. I don't even care if we see the Celtics in the second round at that point, if we get those 3 back. Those are my thoughts on that situation. The injury report for tonight's game against the Raptors. Mitch, they have him here listed on ESPN as game time decision, but we know he is available now. Alec Burks is a game time decision. OG and Randall are out. In terms of the Raptors, Quickly is out, listed here, and so is Barrett, and so is Poeltl. So we're going to be looking at a very, very compromised Raptors team who has lost at least, I see 5, but they've lost the last 5, and the Knicks have won 4 of the last 5. Yeah. Oh, man, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. This is great news. Great news. The New York Knicks could be in 3rd place by tonight, and they will have their former starting center back, who he's been a sight. I mean, I've missed him tremendously. I love watching Mitch Robinson play, and now I'm going to have the benefit of watching him again. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, reminder. April 7th, mark your calendars. Anyone in Los Angeles, anyone in Southern California, you want to come on up, make a day of it. Should be a lot of fun. I'll have even more information. There's great food, great cocktails. There's going to be specialty cocktails at the Greyhound. Going to give away some Knicks-Verse hats. It might have some trivia, whatnot. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to try to turn this into a recurring thing as well. But hopefully we'll be able to do it again for the playoffs. That would be the key. But this is the first Knicks watch party with Into the Knicks-Verse at the Greyhound. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and drop your comments. Share this video. Hit the thumbs up button for me. And I will see you later tonight around the Knicks-Verse. Mitch is back.